Hi, I'm Edward Tierney. I'm with a company called Copprium. We're a startup here in the U.S., Buffalo, New York. It was great to listen to Barrett's presentation because mine's going to kind of address the very same thing. Ultimately, the size and cost of conductive inks is what I'm going to talk about, and because it drives innovation, or it limits opportunity. And part of that is technical. The other part is business case, and our previous speaker brought some of that up, but I want to touch on that a little more deeply. So what if, we just asked the question, but we'll ask it again. What if we could replace silver with copper? What would it do? It would revolutionize what's going on with printed electronics. And yes, the issues that exist, we'll get to in a minute. So until recently, silver was the gold standard. But as has been pointed out and will be pointed out again, silver demand is projected to reach 1.2 billion ounces this year. That is a record, but it is also a problem because supply is estimated to be just 800 million ounces. And if you do the math, unchecked, because the industry, especially the photovoltaics industry, relies so heavily on silver inks, we could potentially drive our silver reserves to zero in less than 20 years. We are already seeing this. Every morning I wake up and I look at the price of silver. January of this year, it was $23 an ounce. It is currently hovering in the neighborhood between $33 and $34 an ounce. That is a breakthrough level. If you do any investing in materials, in commodities, you'll see that silver is charting a way up. If you do any investing in commodities, you also know that that could change in a moment's notice. But as was noted, 25% of the previously was 25% of the mines are expected to close within the next 4 years. So there is supply chain pressure, there is price pressure, there are a lot of challenges. And here's addressing the photovoltaic market and why they've relied on silver and there's very little copper. Yes, there are technical challenges. There are also the fact that the inks that are used for photovoltaics are macro sized, and we're going to get into what does that mean. So in talking to customers around the world, TechBlick, Lopec, a number of other conferences, we've literally found that people believe that the conductive ink industry could hit a point of existential crisis if we can't find a way to make copper work. And that is what our goal has been, and that is what we've done. The reasons that people need copper, conductive copper inks to work, yes, it is silver, but it's also fine line printing, and many of the it's eco-friendly and sustainable products. It has to work with certain types of application methodologies, inkjet, aerosol, other jetting capabilities. So there's a lot of reasons just beyond replacing silver that people want copper as a solution out there in the conductive ink space. The trouble is that macro level coppers, the alternative to silver for many years, has some technical hurdles in front of it. What was pointed out certainly was oxidation. Based on processing, we know that basic copper will oxidize and corrode. However, as you start to get into the whole nanotechnology of things, you start to find that there are other materials available that can help reduce this problem. An additional aspect of macro copper, as we call it, is sintering temperatures. Many of the, copper is low cost, and that means it wants to be used in low cost applications. Low cost applications mean that the substrates need to support that same level of cost, and many of those are very low temperature in terms of when you can sinter with them. So you have to be able to reduce the sintering temperatures of copper as well. Finally, Particle size is going to continue to become an issue as we continue to reduce the size of electronics and the material.